Guinness is now the UK's most popular pint. They say that 1 in 8 pints poured in the UK is a pint of plain. So we've come down to one of the best bars for Guinness in London, which is Gibney's, to see what really matters, what you should look out for, and are there any myths that you should just ignore?
First thing you got to be looking for is if everyone around you is actually drinking Guinness, you know, because I know that there'll be flow on the line, because if you're getting the first pint out, now usually what the bartender should do is maybe pour a little bit out just to get rid of the stale beer that's so close to the nozzle, but which would also be warmer. But next thing, if they're using a Guinness glass or a traditional tulip glass. It's basically, like if you're using, say, this glass here, nothing wrong with Orchard Pig cider, but it has a widget in it. So when the nitrous hits that, it activates the gas in a different way. It may offer a certain kind of fizz to the beer that shouldn't be there. As well, traditional Guinness glass, there's no widget at the bottom. So you're just literally getting it as it hits the bottom of the glass and activating itself. I find also, if you're getting that first pint out of the line, if the first bit of beer is too warm, you will get a much bigger head.
Okay, so
and like,
no big head.
Well, like a certain big head of Guinness is right, but like some beers you see, it might go all the way down to the harp. Like we call that a bishop's collar in the business.
Okay.
And you know, it's too much head for in the pint, in my opinion. I find for actual taste, it's not a whole lot different. It's more for texture.
Okay.
So basically, with the 2-part pour, so it dates back to the original Guinness time where we had 2 different barrels of high pressure and low pressure. But when you pour the first part, it allows the nitrous to settle, which allows the beer to thicken. If you pour it straight up in one go, you'll find that it is more watery. It doesn't have the same body, and you can see it as you pour. You'll put it because you put it down. The head will be wobbling. But if you pour it and let it settle, it lets the body settle, and then as you top up with the next bit, it is a lot more structured, and you get that creamy taste of Guinness that we all like. I think that one's a bit of a myth in my opinion. I think there does have to be a certain level of time for that to settle, but I think that all depends down to the length of your line to your cooler, how much gas the pressure is. If you're pouring 2 pints, as I was saying, I mean, you're splitting the gas, so it'll settle a lot quicker.
Okay.
But I don't think it needs the full 119.5 seconds, because nobody has that much time to wait in London these days, you know. Usually if you see bubbles on the side of the glass up around the head, they call it honeycomb head. Okay. That just shows that the glass might not have been cleaned properly, or else cleaned without with it in the same kind of tray that may have maybe like dirty plates or greasy glass might have been cleaned in. Okay. Especially if you're in a pub with food and stuff, it is very, very important to pre-rinse your glasses to make sure you get any excess grease off that might have been like cross-contaminated with food. And that shows up as well on the kind of the white streaks on the side of the glass. Look, it's a presentation thing, you know, isn't it? It's become a big thing, like with Guinness becoming a popularity, the domage and the structure, and it is very pretty to look at. And as Guinness, when you finish pouring, the head does slightly expand, so that's what creates that dome finish. And I think it's just a presentation of a good-looking pint, you know. As you see, look, this one's still holding its dome. It's been sitting there for a minute, so it makes it looks more fresh. If the kind of pint is enclaving and it's not as appetizing looking, you know. That's just a bit of pageantry and showmanship. If you're like, look, you go into bars that do it. I think it's more of it's a thing you see in kind of tourist bars. I'd never learned how to do the Clover, and I'm not losing any business because of it. I'm very happy that I don't have to do it. But it's also, when you do it, you do need a slower pour on your line, which means that's taking less gas out because the slow pour lets you draw the design. I think it's become a great talking point amongst friends and stuff. You know, I think personally, I think it's the most photographed beer in the world. When you get a beautiful pint, you're like, I'm guilty of it as well. You send photos to your friends and stuff, and it's like, it's more than just, you know, and like people, like, it gets groups together to go enjoy these different pubs and explore these different pubs, and it gives it, you know, a different reason to go and explore in different pubs all around, like the UK, Ireland. You know, these pubs, they got a great name for Guinness, and I just think it's something that people can bond over, I guess, which is, you know, it's nice to do with certain beers. You never see groups going around trying different pints of lagers or trying different, you know, which is very funny. But like, they've done well to grow its popularity. I don't think it's slowing down anytime soon. Yeah, well, they've got a couple around, like London depends, you know. I think, you know, Ushing over to Devonshire's doing a great job. There's a great pub up in Dollis Hill called Maloney's. It's a very local run pub, and then, but usually I'm working to go. But they'd be the 2 I try to get to when I have a bit of time off. Cheers.
Cheers.